So very good morning and pleasant morning to all the students of class 10th D. Beta, we are reading Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. Few students have requested me to just repeat again. Beta, will not be possible to give in detail the kind of detail we discussed yesterday. But yes, I will be giving you a gist. Then we will be continuing from page number 19 onwards. Fine. This chapter is all about, as its subtitle says, Long Walk to Freedom. Actually, Nelson Mandela, he hails from South Africa, and being a black man, he faced a lot of discrimination in his own country. So society was segregated on the basis of caste, color, creed. Black men were considered inferior, and white men, they were considered superior. People were having such notions, such mindset, and a lot of discrimination was there. A lot of, they were not supposed to, they were not having basic rights, even right to vote, right to, you can say, take part in societal things and all. So they were not considered equals. So Nelson Mandela, being you can say aware black man, I must say, being aware, and he wanted to fight for the freedom and rights of black people. It's not about only Nelson Mandela. There are many people. You can see the pictures on page number 20. Oliver Tambo, Walter, Chief, Yusuf, Bram, and Robert, etc., and many others were there who fought for their rights, who lost their lives, who remained behind the bars because they wanted equal rights. Fine. But nothing could be done at that time. But they actually started a struggle, started that revolution, and they are the beginners, you can say, who started this. But Nelson Mandela, being aware and being, you can say, he also remained behind the bars for years. He put in very serious efforts to make his country free, make his people free. It was not about himself only, it was about all the people of South Africa. So with his efforts, finally the day came when, for the first time in ever in the history, he was chosen as president of South Africa. So, first ever in the history of South Africa, the first black man to be chosen as the president was Nelson Mandela. That's why he was recognized more as compared to other people who lost their lives. Fine. So, in this case, uh, after telling this, they have discussed about the struggle, the kind of issues they faced. Fine. And then they have discussed better the inauguration day. Inauguration day is the day when he's going to take pledge to being the president. Fine. So he was being chosen. So firstly, second deputy president took pledge, and then came the first deputy president. He came. The names are written over there, but on page number 17 and 18. Second deputy president was Mr. D. Clark, and first deputy president was Thabo Mbeki. He sworn in as deputy president, and then after that third time, you can say at the third number came the turn of Nelson Mandela, because he was going to take pledge of being the president of that country, and he'll be considering after that getting that pledge, he will be giving very, you can say, touching speech, because more than 140, you can say, countries are taking part in that inauguration. People, dignitaries, and well-known personalities, they have coming from different backgrounds and countries. More than 140 countries, they are sitting in front of him, and they are just listening to the address of Nelson Mandela. Otherwise, and in front of him, a lot of troops of people, army men, and they all are just saluting him. He's just getting a lot of respect, fine, from people around the world, and a lot of, you can say, all the army people, they are just standing in front of him, walking past in, you can say, in respect of the chair, the designation, actually, I must say. Still students are joining. So after that, he starts his speech is very important, beta. It's on page number 18. You must know the content of the speech, so that I won't be discussing now, because we have discussed it in detail yesterday. Those who joined today only, they can read it on page 18. Fine. Gist of speech is that he has just discussed that how many years ago they were considered outlaws. They were outcasted from the society. Who were outcasted? Black people. But now he's saying he's calling for peace. He's expecting harmony. He's expecting equal rights. He's not saying that black men will be superior now because I'm the president and all. He's saying that let freedom reign. Let freedom be for everyone. Let rights be for everyone. Fine, whether it is black people, white people, colored people, people from various races, caste, creeds, colors, they all are equal now. Fine. So in the last line, he said, "Let freedom rule. God bless Africa." So he's expecting that being president, I will try my level best to make everyone equal in our society. No segregation, no, you can say, separation, no any kind of discrimination will be faced by anyone. So he is promising for that. And one more important thing, though, those who missed yesterday, was apartheid system. Beta, you must know what is apartheid system. On very first page it is written, apartheid is a political system that separates people according to their race. So apartheid system was prevailing before reign of Nelson Mandela, before he could become president. So in apartheid system, discrimination is there, segregation, separation is there, societies are divided into various parts. Fine. So when he came into existence, he made sure that no apartheid system will be followed, no segregation on the basis of race. Fine, no separation on the basis of color will be there. He also remembers all the people or warriors who fought and lost their lives. These are the pictures you can see on the screen. Those who lost their lives and they tried their level best. These names also you need to remember better. Fine. Clear hai sabko? Now we will be on next page. Beta page number 19 ka just ye hai. This also we have completed yesterday, that after he was taking pledge and all, the next segment was everybody was giving speech from the podium. Colorful jets started coming and started showing the show by showing all the colors of the flag. As you see on 26th January also in India, it is marked as Republic Day. So many, you can say, all the army men, all the people from different states, they present their show in front of all the dignitaries. So in that way, beta, that day, when, because it was a huge moment, for the first time president from the black people was being elected. So many jets, South African jets, helicopters, troop carriers, they started coming in, you can say, in synchronization. They started forming troops, they started showing colors and smokes in the air. So it was just in the mark of, it was the win of democracy only. Government of the people, for the people, by the people. Now there will be no any discrimination, only democracy will rule. So, and he was thinking that at that time when he saw that many South African defense force and police standing in front of him, moving in front of him in synchronization, saluting him, he was just pondering over means brooding upon, thinking. So he was thinking that many years ago, what would have been the situation? So Nelson Mandela thinks that many years ago, if I had not been selected as president, they would have thrown me behind the bars, because these people, army men and policemen and people in power, they have the power to lock the person behind the bar. So he's thinking ki, many years ago, they are the same people who would have thrown me behind the bars. But now see, scenario is different. People in front of me are saluting me and just showing the shows and everything was going on. And after that, beta, day was symbolized as the playing of very precious day it was. So playing of two national anthems, the vision of white singing the Kosi Sekeli I Africa and blacks singing Die Stem. Underline this, you should remember, because these words not from English language, they are not from English language, the old anthem of the republic. So as you have Janagana Mana, fine, in that way, in this, they black people were singing their own national anthem, white people were also singing their national anthem. Both the national anthems were sung that day to mark the dignity of both the races. So Nelson Mandela was not that kind of man who would be giving special attention to his own race and who would be neglecting white people. He is the kind of person who is giving equal rights to both the races. Clear? So although that day neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem, they once despised. So black people were not knowing the lyrics of white national anthem. White people were not knowing the lyrics of the national anthem of the black people. Even then, as a mark of respect, they were there standing in the mark of respect only. Clear? Standing there only, and they, you can say in a dignified manner, that's enough. Clear? Clear. Now we were on page number 20, beta. I will be starting from that day. Though we have read, but let's start from here only. Page number 20. No, better. Page number 21. So I got confused where we left. Actually, I could not mark yesterday. Huh. That day, where you can see the picture of these freedom fighters, from that page onwards, I'll be starting. Clear? Here you can see now I'll be reading from here. That day had come about through the unimaginable sacrifices of my people, from here onwards. So I'll be reading from my book. You keep your book in front of you, beta, page number 20, and those who are not having book can see the screen also. That day had come about through the unimaginable sacrifices of thousands of my people, people whose suffering and courage can never be counted or repaid. So he is now missing those people, uh, those who gave his, those who fought for their lives, those who fought for, you can say, freedom of black men, but they could not get it. I felt that day, as I have on so many other days, that I was simply the sum of all those African patriots. So he is considering himself that whatever he has achieved actually is the summation of all the efforts put in by other strugglers, other people who fought for the cause. And what is the cause here? Freedom of black men, equal rights of black men. Clear? So Oliver's Tambo, Walter, Chief, ये pictures जो आप देख रहे हो, all these men, they fought for the freedom of black men, but they could not receive freedom. They could not make their country free at that time. So what he is feeling at this moment, Nelson Mandela is feeling that whatever he achieved is the sum of efforts made by other people in the past. This is the, humble gesture of a personality. Some people, when they win or they achieve something, they start saying, yes, I have done this because I have the qualities, that's why I could do it. Fine. But in this case, he is not at all taking the advantage of being president only. Beta, no problem. If we were on page 21, no problem, Dakshita. But even then, many students could not join yesterday. That's why I am repeating from the last page. No problem. Clear? So I have on many other days, he's just saying that it is the sum of all the efforts put in by others. Then I was pained that I was not able to thank them and that they were not able to see what their sacrifices had wrought. He's feeling the pain of those who lost their lives in this freedom fighting. He's saying, I'm missing those people right now, that they could not see this day. This day was marked in the dignity of South African men, and now they are not here to see it. So I'm feeling the pain of those people. Clear? The policy of apartheid created a deep and lasting wound in my country and my people. I underline this. the people of the policy of apartheid. बच्चे ये सबको पता होना चाहिए. What is the policy of apartheid? I repeat, apartheid is a system in which segregation is there on the basis of racialism. Race के basis पे society को divide कर देना is called apartheid system. So he's saying already this policy has created a lot of chaos in my country. Many people suffered a lot about this, and अभी भी बच्चे आ रहे हैं सीधी. This is not the time to enter. But all of us will spend many years, if not generations, recovering from that profound hurt. So he's saying it will take years to, heal that wound. It's a wound only. They are feeling the pain because for years they have been segregated. For years they have felt the torture by white men. But now he's saying it will take years to forget this wound. But the decades of oppression and brutality had another unintended effect. There was not only segregation, उनको सिर्फ अलग नहीं किया गया था, they were being oppressed. Being oppressed means किसी को दबाना in a mental way, emotional way, societal norms way, any way you can say. So they were being oppressed and they were being treated harshly, brutally. And after that, it produced the Oliver Tambos, the Walter Sislers, the Chief Luthlers, the Yusuf Dadus, the Bram Fishers, the Robert Subukus of our time, men of such extraordinary courage, wisdom, and generosity that their like may never be known again. He's saying such kind of people will never be coming in the coming years. So these people lost their lives. They faced harsh realities. Perhaps it requires such depths of oppression to create such heights of character. So he's now, even in the negative situation, he's trying to extract something positive. What he's saying maybe because of this oppression only, these men were formed in a, you can say they were great personalities. Maybe they have been oppressed a lot in the past. कहते हैं ना कि the person who goes through difficult times, that kind of person becomes more difficult for others to handle. So the difficulties do not come to destroy you actually. Difficulties come to check how difficult you are. Fine. And beta, I don't think so there is any Rajveer in our class. I don't think so. Am I right? Okay, Harsimran, fine. Any student, any people, they are trying to enter, so I won't allow. Okay, my country is rich in the minerals and gems that lie beneath its soil, but I have always known that its great wealth is its people, finer and truer than the purest diamonds. He's saying that people measure the richness of a country by the number of gems, the number of gold, you can say the quantity of gold and valuables, but I measure the richness of a country, richness of a soil by quality of people. So this is the mindset of Nelson Mandela. He's saying the greatest wealth to any country is its people. Clear? It is from these, but we are on page number 21. Second paragraph, you can see. It is from here. I'm just showing you. It is from these comrades in the struggle that I learned the meaning of courage. Time and again, I have seen men and women risk and give their lives for an idea. So he's saying these comrades here are, these are all the people who lost their lives in the struggle of getting freedom. So he's saying from all these people, all these courageous men, I have learned many people, many women, many kids, they lost their lives. And from these people, I have learned how to risk one's life to achieve freedom. I have seen men stand up to attacks and torture without breaking, showing a strength and resilience that defies the imagination. Resilience meaning is given that when you are having the patience enough to face anything. So he's saying, I have seen such people who were showing a strength of resilience that you cannot even imagine in your life. You know, patience is a virtue, I always say. A person who does not have patience, I give you the live example of patience. Sometimes students are joining, it takes 5 to 10 minutes on daily basis. Fine, and many students, they will be like, what the hell I'm doing here? I'm sitting and waiting for 10 minutes. They won't be waiting for 10 minutes. They will be running here and there and eating and going and doing their course. But some students keep on sitting patiently, waiting for lecture to start. Whatever teacher is repeating, they will be listening. Some students will be saying, "What the hell is going on? Teacher is just repeating whatever we have done yesterday. Why she's repeating?" And they won't be their mind gives them the signal. They won't be listening to the teacher even. So I'm just telling you the kind of patience we people are having, because we are born in the era of technology when knowledge is just one click away. We are lacking patience a lot. You just compare yourself with your grandparents, they are having much more patience than us, because they were not born in the era of this clicking and just phones which touch and you just google anything and you get everything within fraction of seconds. Even if buffering is there now, when your network is not working, we start getting impatient. And see the patience of these people who were fighting for years. We cannot even compare ourselves with them. So he's saying that I have not seen such resilience, such patience in people, which is beyond even imagination, that they were being tortured and beaten up continuously. Even then, they did not give up. उन्होंने give up नहीं किया. But the triumph over it, they, because of their absence of fear, because of their courage, they won finally. So he's not saying I won, he's saying all of us won. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Double underline this quotation, beta. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. He's saying the brave people are those who does not feel afraid, but the ones who actually feeling of, facing one's fear is the bravery, rather than running away from it. If you are afraid of darkness, you go and sit in the darkness. Your fear will go away, shoo away. Fine. If you want to get rid of any fear, you have to face it, because whenever we have the feeling of fear, we will be gripped in it. When you face it once, it will go eventually after facing it only. Clear? Then after that, no one is born. The brave man is better. I'll be taking all the queries at the end. So don't try to ask in between. Fine. Pratham of 10th D, I guess for the first time you are attending the class. I have two names, Pratham and Nandini, who they never ever joined the class even. Fine, for the sake of attendance, don't come. If you want to listen to the teacher, then come. Don't raise hands in between. This is a distraction for me. Clear? So no one is, this paragraph, no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. He's what he's trying to convey now, beta. This is not about winning of South African people. It is everywhere. It is universal concept. Now they're saying that whenever we see you people, just you imagine in the class only, when you see someone who is, we do fat shaming easily. A person who's fat enough, we start insulting that person. A person who does not look good or who does not dress up in a nice way, we start shaming that person. Find on the basis of complexion, on the basis of physical features, find many grounds are there, many criterias are there, people start shaming others. So he's saying that no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background. When a child is there, he will not be knowing who is black, who is white. When a small kid is there, he will not be saying who's fat, who is thin, who is beautiful, who is not. It is we who teach those kids the difference of on the basis of color, creed, and race. And he's hailing from this category, he's from that category, his color complexion is like that. White color is, mainly in, you can see the advertisement on television, all the beautiful girls are there. Have they ever taken any girl who's not beautiful in any advertisement? Now scenario is changing, no doubt, but it's not fully changed, what I feel. Beautiful girls with proper, you can say, good height and good, you can say, physique. Boys are there who are having muscular bodies, and you can see the Bollywood people always running after the physical fitness and all. Physical fitness is mandatory, taking good care of yourself is mandatory, but considering others on the basis of beauty or external beauty or color and their physical abilities, that is not at all required. That is taught to our society. ये हमें सिखाया जाता है. Otherwise, no child feels so. Clear? So no one is born hating another person, he's saying, because of the background and color. We are taught so in this society. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. What a beautiful thought it is. Nelson Mandela is saying, if we can teach our children to hate on the basis of color, caste, creed, why can't we teach them? Okay, time is running out now. Plus two is trying to enter. Only 1 or 2 minutes I'll be taking. He's saying that why can't we teach our children to love? Because love is a natural emotion. Fine, love is a natural emotion. So why don't we teach our children to love? Why we teach them to do discrimination? He's saying even the grimmest times in prison, when my comrades and I were pushed to our limits, I would see a glimmer of humanity in one of the guards, perhaps just for a second, but it was enough to reassure me and keep me going. Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never is extinguished. He's saying when I was behind the bars, when Nelson Mandela himself was behind the bars, he felt that human goodness lies, it is inherent, it lies in everyone. Even the guards who were beating the Nelson Mandela, who were doing harsh, you can say behaving harshly with him, even he could see a glimmer, a shine of goodness in him also. He could see the goodness in a bad person also. Clear? So this way I can just, I'll be winding up because time is just flying. I could not even, because of the beta, but tomorrow I will not be explaining this much, because we have done in detail now for 2 days. Tomorrow I'll be finishing off this chapter. Okay, beta? Have a nice day.